Begin with late-breaking news from the northwest side, where two Pima County Sheriff's deputies have been wounded in the line of duty. This happened on Shannon and Overton, that is near Shannon Road. Our Dan Maurice was first to arrive at the scene. Dan, what can you tell us right now?
Well, Mary, this is still a very active scene. Another mobile command unit has shown up. There's two of those now. There is a debriefing happening right now. I want to give you an idea of where I'm at. This is Overton Road. It is closed right now to traffic just east of Shannon. The shooting actually took place in that subdivision right behind me on the Kawana Road. And that is where all of the activity is happening right now. Detectives are still arriving on scene, and what they're doing is recreating what happened. I do have it confirmed, as you just mentioned, two deputies were shot and wounded in this shooting. I've also have two sources close to this telling me the suspect was also shot and has been rushed to the hospital as well. So two deputies and the suspect have all been taken to the hospital. Another source tells me those two deputies are in surgery right now, and it does appear that the deputies are going to be okay. Still waiting for official word, official confirmation on that suspect. Now, this all happened around 6:45 to 7 o'clock, about actually more closer to 7:45, 7:30, somewhere in that area. I was actually one of the first on the scene. I was here as ambulances were leaving, but as fire trucks were arriving, and there was still so much activity going on. It has died down just a little bit now that the threat is over, but now begins the investigation, exactly what happened, how this started, and definitely the thoughts and prayers are with those two deputies who are in the hospital right now, and again, waiting for more information on that suspect. But that is the latest from here on the northwest side at Overton and Shannon. Mary, will toss it back to you. Actually, we're going to go to Sean Mahoney, who's at Banner UMC, where some of those deputies were rushed to. Sean.
Yeah, well, Dan, as you talked about over in Overton, where you are, scene's still very active. Here at Banner, the scene a little less active, admittedly. Now, when that incident happened earlier, or the shooting rather happened earlier, I was actually on my way to the scene to meet you, Dan, and I saw the ambulance traveling back on Ina Road with two sheriff's deputies escorts, and now we are here at Banner shortly after, I would want to say around 8:15 or 10 after 8 is when that ambulance arrived. We got confirmation from some of the members of Back the Blue who are on scene right beside me. Now, I will say that when I was told from Back the Blue is when that ambulance arrived that there were several sheriff's deputies around, but since then we've seen some sheriff's deputies around. We see some undercover cars swing by, but as of right now, the scene not too active. We do know there's two sheriff's deputies by the emergency room door, the emergency door, and obviously the good news, at least at what we know so far, is that it appears that those two sheriff deputies are currently in surgery and looks like they will be okay, as Dan just mentioned. Still, like we said, just like Dan, working to figure out more information about the suspect as well, but it's been a little bit of a harrowing couple of minutes or a couple of hours here outside of Banner, and Back the Blue were one of the first here on scene. I spoke with some of them to hear kind of what this experience has been like for them and their thoughts on obviously this tragic event.
Now we're all heartbroken because we're all part of Back the Blue. Like, we are LEO supporters, we have families members that are law enforcement. Anytime somebody is involved in a shooting or a car accident or anything, we come out. We are their family when they are away from their family.
And they're still, like we said, still working on getting a lot of information. And even Back to Blue here, still waiting to hear from some of their fellow brothers and sisters in arms to hear more information, especially about those deputies who are currently in surgery right now. We'll make sure to give you all that information as it comes in. And as Back to Blue, 13 News, one of the first people here at Banner, Dan Maurice, one of the first here at Overton. And Dan, I'll kind of send it back to you. Just any other pieces of information or thoughts that we have currently right now.
Yeah, Sean, while you were doing your live shot, another crime scene unit just arrived on the scene, so you can imagine there are still people arriving here a couple of hours after the shooting. Also want to mention the neighborhood itself. where the shooting took place on that street behind me, it has been shut off. There's been residents trying to come down the road. They're not being allowed in at this time because from my understanding, I've had this two people tell me that the suspect may have been trying to run away from those deputies either after the shooting or during the shooting. So it appears that this crime scene may be stretched out over a block or so. So the whole entrance to this subdivision is shut down. Residents are not being allowed in, and a portion of Overton Road just east of Shannon is still shut down. People are being told to turn around. So we will continue to follow this all night long. Make sure you stay with us on air and online at KOLD.com. As soon as we get new information, we will post it for you. Mary, back to you.
Dan, Sean, thank you very much. I know you guys will stay on top of it and bring us the very latest. Stay safe out there.